What's going on, YT? It's your girl, TheLeaRae, and you're tuned into TheLeaRaeShow. So, excuse my little wet spot on my shirt. I didn't just wake up, but it is on Monday morning, and I am getting ready. I'm a little self-conscious because I got my background up. I'm very happy about that, but I feel like it's causing there to be really good lighting. Feel like you can see everything. I was thinking I was going to do a whole full face situation, but I'm not. Full face, I was never thinking that. I was thinking that I was about to do my eyes, because I like to do eyes only while we're in this situation sometimes. And I was like, yeah, I didn't wake up early enough. Well, I got up at 5:15, but I was kind of unprepared, as I am typically on Mondays. Was not unprepared in the sense of me working out, because I had decided that I was not going to work out this morning, and I was just gonna chill from working out in the mornings for a while, because like I'm just not a morning person as far as working out. Now I love to get up and I love to be up early, but actually working out, that's just not my peak time. My peak time, my prime time is, I think I mentioned this before, 9:30, 10 o'clock. A lot has been going on in the news, in the media. And the one thing that I just wanted to speak on really quick was this whole Cam Newton situation. That was a trip. As a teacher, stuff that shocks the public does not shock teachers. Our experience pool is so high. Like, I'm talking about, even if you are a first year teacher, you still have had the opportunity to deal with about 150, 130 to 150 kids, 150 being on your classes overcrowded side, but you still had an opportunity to deal with a whole bunch of kids, more than most would deal with in their entire lifetime. In that you deal with a lot of different personalities, and there's always gonna be that kid that is the most popular. And I'm saying that because this is me kind of sizing him up. This kid came off to me as the popular kid, the kid who talks a lot, and I don't care how his parents raised him. Like I've said before, y'all think y'all know y'all kids, but y'all don't know your kids. You think this was the first time this kid has ever talked crazy to somebody that he wasn't supposed to talk crazy to? No, because your kids are two different people. And you can think that your kids be keeping it 100 with you. Like, this is the way they act when they at school. Like, the way I got them on lockdown right here, this is how they act. It's a lie. You don't know your kids like you think you know your kids. I mean, you know your kids, but they are different around their friends. You are different around your friends. You think you go up to your boss like, yeah, what up? No, you don't. But you might go up to your homegirl, what's up? Is that how you talk to your supervisor? No, you're two different people when you're around your friends, and so are your kids. That kid been going like this off at the mouth. What he did was a big deal because he doesn't know how to turn it off. It's not a big deal in the sense, like, it's not like his behavior was shocking. That's what I'm trying to say, because that's normal. Y'all might not know that that's normal, but that's normal. And you might know it because you hear, oh, these kids are so disrespectful and da-da-da-da-da. Not all the kids are disrespectful. There is an alarming amount of kids that are disrespectful. And they talk to adults in manners that I would have never. And I don't understand where the disconnect, because it's a parenting issue. You feel me? At the end of the day, that kid acted the way he did because it's a parenting issue. And I don't understand where the disconnect is. That's what's hard for me to understand. Where is the disconnect? Where is the disconnect with the parenting, from the way people used to parent to the way people parent today, to where kids have the audacity to talk to adults the way that they do? That's what I don't understand. Nonetheless, I digress. But that kid has been talking like that. And when it started out, it wasn't a big deal. Like what he was saying to Cam. Well, let me rephrase, because I never knew what he said to Cam to trigger Cam. And I don't say trigger in a bad way, and I'm gonna tell you why. Being a teacher and being around grown men all day and young men all day, they poke shots at each other all day. That's how men talk. That's how men and young men bond. That's how men and men bond. That's all they do. They jank each other all day. Jank is like joke. They crack jokes and they play hard. That's just what men do. That's just what boys do. When Cam said, but I'm rich though, because that's kind of where the video cut in for me. Joke, but not a joke. So what? They can talk to each other like that. What the problem was, in my opinion, was that, which is what always happens with these young boys. Well, not always. Some could take a joke. You have certain boys that don't, number one, know when to stop, and number two, when their pride gets hurt, they get mad defensive, as do men, I guess. But it's okay to get mad, but it's not okay to go toe to toe. That's the problem. You can't go toe to toe with a grown man. We talking about Cam Newton here. Talking about he gonna be poor. On what planet, bro? That's because he think that Cam Newton only gets paid by the NFL. If I had to guess, I bet you Cam Newton don't even touch his NFL checks. That man got so many. I seen this dude's clothes in Macy's one time. His whole clothing line. And if it wasn't Macy's, it was a big popular department store. You know how you go over there and be like, this is the polo section? It was like, this is the Cam Newton section. So for him to say that he was gonna be broke, on what planet? This kid thought that he could stomp with the big dogs, as we used to say back in the 90s. He thought he could stomp with the big dogs, and he can't. Now let me tell you, Cam didn't handle anything inappropriately. Like I said, they were joking. It's not a big deal. People need to stop being so sensitive. And maybe if these kids' parents would stop being so sensitive, then maybe they would stop being so sensitive. But again, I digress. How sensitive today's kids are is a totally different conversation. But did Cam Newton do anything wrong? Because I heard Stephen A. Smith say that Cam should have never responded to the kid that way. Yes, he should have. Yes, he should have, because it wasn't a big deal. Stop making it a big deal. It's not. It's not that deep. We got to stop making things so deep. And then, when he really, really understood that the kid was taking it too far, because the kid didn't know when to stop. And that's not all kids, okay? That's not all kids. There's a lot of kids that know when to stop. They got it. They know when to back down. This kid did not. Like I said, he comes off as somebody who is popular, who likes to impress his friends. Some kids have been raised to know when to tone it down. They have better judgment as to when things are getting out of control on their end, and they know when to dial it back. But Mr. Popularity, Mr. I'm good at football at my high school, and I know he went on to college. Mr. I'm famous around my way. He doesn't have that. He didn't have that. I need to turn it off. And this is a grown man that I'm talking to. And before I take it too far at his camp, at his house, I need to turn it off. He didn't have that at that moment. He had this me or Cam mentality, but it can't be you or Cam, because Cam already won out the gate. Remember, you're at his house. Cam, he a better person than me. I'm just gonna say I would have handled it differently, because I would like to say that I work with kids more than Cam does. I see kids for 9 months, Monday through Friday, for 7 hours. I know Cam does his camps and all that kind of stuff, and I've been doing this since 2008. But he don't spend most of his time with kids. I spend most of my time with kids because I have a 9 to 5. One thing that I have learned about kids, especially Gen Z, words mean nothing to them as a whole. All that talking, it just goes in one ear and out the other, because guess what? That's what they do. They talk. I'm on Insta, Twitter, Snap, Talkie Face, and I'm just talking. That's all they do is talk. So when you talking to them, they hear you, but they don't hear you. They recognize action. They respond to action. So when kid would have been popping off at the mouth, I'd probably started with, I'm rich, if I was Cam Newton, but I'm rich though. But I'm rich, because it's a joke at that point. But when the kid wouldn't stop, and I had to go to, where's your daddy though? That was funny. And the kid wouldn't stop. I'd have been like, oh, okay. Pack your bags or get off my field. Go back to the hotel. You done for today. Coach, you get your boy. He done. And I probably wouldn't have sent him home, but he wouldn't have been able to play that day. And if he had a scrimmage that day or he had a scrimmage the next day, he would have had to sit out that game. He wouldn't have been able to play. So you're not going to get all this free knowledge that you're getting, because I'm sure somebody paid for it, but it wasn't him. And I don't even care if it was his parents. He didn't pay for it. So somebody didn't pay for the education that he is getting. Yes, going to football camp is education. Somebody has paid for the education that he is getting. He is taking it for granted. So he needs to sit back at the hotel by himself or wherever he's staying so that he can reflect and he can miss out while everybody else gets this information from an expert. And that's how I do in my classroom, though. Scenery change. So like I was saying, in my classroom, I run a tight ship, okay? So I'm straight, first of all, I get my expectation when I walk into class out the gate. I have a little mantra. We go through it. We go through the rules, and then I tell you the consequences. So, but I don't always like to get formal with it, because I like to give kids a chance to correct themselves. They're kids, and everybody ain't gonna be up in there silent all the time. So typically it's like, okay, so-and-so stop talking, that's your warning. Then you give them time to adjust and stuff like that, and then they might keep talking, or they might throw a pencil to their homie or something like that, and then you'll be like, okay, that's your second warning. It comes with a phone call. You don't throw things in my classroom. And then they may do something else, get out of their seat without permission. Okay, you have detention tomorrow. You don't get out your seat without permission, and we need to talk after class. So you might do something like that. And then like maybe like the last thing, a referral. But of course, you don't want to have to write a referral out the gate. You know, like that's going to be your last thing is to write a referral. Like that's kind of how, and then if they get to that, you say, okay, that's it. You know, please come get so-and-so. You know, you call for somebody, you call for help. But like, it's not always like that, because a lot of if you did that all the time, you have no kids in your class, because that means that they can't ever make a mistake. So sometimes when you're starting to teach and stuff like that, you can just, you know, it doesn't always have to be a formal reprimand. My kids will know when they're receiving a formal reprimand, because I will say, stop doing that. That's your warning. They know that that is a formal verbal reprimand. Like if it's like the situation where I'm up there teaching and you having like a sidebar conversation and it's kind of getting on my nerves, I might be like, Johnny, stop talking. And then Johnny might keep talking or whatever. And then you'll have to you can play with the kids. You start to get to know your kids and what you can say and what you can't say, and who's sensitive and who's not sensitive. So Johnny, if I had to say something to Johnny, Johnny's probably not that sensitive. So I keep teaching. Then Johnny keeps talking. I'm like, Johnny, so you done now? You know, I might say something slick like that. And Johnny would be like, all right, Miss B, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Or Johnny might be like, now you done now? And then I might be like, I'm trying to get done. I'm trying to find the value of X, but you keep throwing me off and I can't get done. But if you let me get done, we can get to the assignment and then y'all can continue your sidebar conversation. And then Johnny should know at that point it's time to back down. But sometimes Johnny don't know it's time to back down. So Johnny might keep going like, well, I'm not done. I'm not done. You done? You done? You done? Okay. And I might be like, all right, now you better chill. And I might try to keep talking, but Johnny don't stop. At that point, I'd be like, all right, Johnny, that's enough. Know when to cut it off. They don't cut it off, then you got to start getting formal. All right, if you don't stop, that's gonna be your warning. They don't stop, so you hit them with the warning, and then you hit them when you start taking them through their consequences, which is exactly what Cam was doing. Cam was trying to joke with him at first. He didn't know when to cut it off. That's when Cam was like, "Where's your daddy?" And then after that, he tried to have a conference with the kid. He tried to talk to the kid. The kid still didn't want to take heed to what Cam was trying to do. It wouldn't have went like that in my classroom. I'm just saying. The football field is Cam's classroom. Kid wouldn't have been able to stay in my classroom after he done made a whole scene like that. He done stopped the learning process, because now we got to deal with his behavior. You gotta go, bruh. You gotta go. He just needs to go take a timeout. Cam should have sent him back to the hotel bare minimum for the rest of the day, for the next game, have a sit out, whatever, because that's like somebody riding in the car with you. In your car, you driving. They say something slick, so you say something slick back, but they keep going. And then it turns into a situation where they're being disrespectful to you in your car. You gonna let a person disrespect you in your car while you're driving it? No, you're not. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pull over and you're gonna tell them to get out of your car, period. And Cam did take the high road, because Cam knows when to cut it off. And anybody that had a problem with Cam and what he did is soft, and you need to toughen up. But anyway, y'all, tell me what y'all think about the whole Cam situation. How did you feel about that? Anyway, y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and until next time, people, peace.